morning. Good morning. Good morning, folks. Good morning.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the commentary track for Madhouse, aka one of my all-time favorite videos ever. Of course, the coolest video I've ever seen in the world is one of my own. So now you're looking at me. That's Doug Crabtree, writer, superstar, producer, most handsome man in the universe, executive producer, co-executive producer, author, co-founder, and Fabio's sidekick, Doug Crabtree. That is me in my truck. That's me with a full tank of gas. So basically what I was doing this morning was taking a break in school and going down to my sister's for like 3 or 4 days. That's me right there, literally going down. What I love about driving that route is it takes like over an hour, but I don't even have to use the GPS because it's just like a bird that flies and knows exactly where it's going every year. A bird. I'm like a bird. So there's my gorgeous niece, Anna. And that's, obviously I made it. I love this video because it's so summery, and there's Caitlin, my other niece. It's very summer, but it wasn't like too hot. It was the perfect few days. Filled with chaos, laughter, a little bit of boredom here and there, obviously not on camera, but and of course Trace Corwin, who is now a man, but at this time was still a boy. And he is not from Narragansett, Rhode Island. But I would love to get down there and just do more of I would like to make an entire series of just these guys, my sister and her kids, and I don't even need to be on it. I'll just produce it. Like this video is about my trip down there, but it very quickly became about them, and that's probably why it's one of my favorite videos, because I think they're great, especially in like the reality show setting, whereas I am just not so great. Try not to hit a deer, because that's what your truck will look like when you do it. So what else could I say about this video, except for me spitting all over the camera right there? That's me just trying to teach my niece how to vlog. I got a lot of comments about this, saying that I was such a good uncle for letting my nieces have the camera and teaching her how to use it and blah, blah, blah. I never really saw it that way. I was selfishly thinking, if I just give her the camera and I leave, then she might get some really good footage because she won't be worried about me being around. But yes, I am the world's best uncle. That much I will say for sure. And I love rocking that short hair, but it's just not me anymore. We're going back to Shaggy. If you haven't seen this original video, I highly encourage you to stop right now and go back and watch it. It's on the same channel because it is the world's best that we've digged up. Like, that's her just going off the cuff without me worrying about it. This is my favorite part right here. One of. This is my sister. Wait for it. Wait for it. The big cuss words on the family-friendly channel. I guess if it's not me cussing, it's not as bad, right? This is a true version of what the house is like, my sister's house is like, every day. And I just happen to be there to collect magic on video for 3 or 4 days. But could you imagine actually being there? I couldn't. I would go absolutely insane. Just being there for like 3 or 4 days was very rough and stressful, because you're going to get punked out by the girls and my nephew at any given time, and my sister. I mean, you're going to get punked. That's just how it goes. I don't mean Ashton Kutcher punked. I mean my sister punked. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but well worth it.
Facebook today, isn't it Friday? Your Skype and Facebook day? Where you been? And I told him, not there. Coffee breath.
When editing this video, I kept in anything that I thought told the story, along with anything that I thought was funny or interesting or particularly cute. So that's why like half of it is dominated with footage of the girls, and the best part is when the kitty cat comes up and my sister's screaming, "Get rid of that cat, we don't need it." And they're like, "We have to have the cat." And they can't make up their mind. It was hard not to laugh and ruin the shots behind the camera. With their permission and with enough money, I would make an entire show out of their family, out of my sister and her kids. And I definitely do not need to be there. I would ruin every take, because I think they're magic on their own. So now that this is happening, they will get their own show. I'll have nothing to do with it, and I'll be the reason they got noticed, and I'll still be poor. So now it's time to barbecue a Barbie doll. I'm not sure how this came about. I think it was, I think we were like going to throw it away, and I said throw it in the fire, and my nieces were freaking out, and then they're like, yes, okay, go ahead, do it. Once they realized how cool it would be, because they've never like had an adult like me that's very irresponsible and would burn a toy. They've never had an adult like that around, so like there they are just watching like, is he really going to burn our doll right now? And of course, I had, that's one of my favorite lines, this is a very bad time for this Barbie. So Trace was, I guess it was me who had to burn the Barbie, because you can't let kids play with fire unless they're big kids, like myself. So Trace got to film. This definitely made the cut just because it was a mix between interesting and told the story of us just doing random things, and how if I had just as much fun as they did, that probably says a lot about me. Kind of immature. Everyone wants to see a plastic doll face just melt in the fire. This is when my mom and my sister showed up, and obviously the fun was over, especially this year, because we were not allowed to build the fire up big. We were told that the pot the fire was in would bust. Why am I saying what I'm saying on the actual video? I should be saying behind the scenes things. There's not much to say, except for that's what I like about Life with Doug, is whatever happens, you see it in the final cut. It's not like anything's hidden. There would be no behind the scenes, because this behind the scenes is the scene, and that's what I've always liked about my style, and that's why I've actually stuck to a style, and I have my loyal 18 viewers, and that's all I need, because from the very beginning I've never vlogged for anyone but myself and made anything. As an artist, I try to do what I think's going to work for me. I love this part. This is kind of where I was instigating a lot of bad things in the house. So I was playing the role of MTV style producer, creating drama to make it look, and then making it look like drama happened on its own when it actually didn't. I was telling the girls, go in there and stand in front of the TV while the boys are playing games so I can get it on video, and they were troopers. They did it. They are destined for stardom, and they did it without even question. Oh, that's my nephew's buddy telling me how he wants to work at Honda when he grows up. Honda is a very popular job here in Ohio because it's a very comfortable living. And then now my nephew thought it would be funny to ruin this table, which I'm sure his mother would have killed him. We had that table in Indiana. I think my mom or Rick originally bought that table, and I guess it just wore down, and I guess the leg was coming loose, so we propped it up and then jumped on it to make it look like it was breaking for the first time. I'm not sure if he actually broke it for the first time or not, or if that was a setup, but... Oh yeah, this is the 24-hour do not eat challenge. Staying there for 3 or 4 days gave us the chance to try this a couple times, where me and my nephew was not going to eat for 24 hours just to see if we could. Just for something to, I guess, vlog about and to starve about. But I don't think either one of us actually did it. I do remember going a very long time, but not quite 24 hours. We could have, but the idea just came really boring. Like, it's no longer fun to not eat. Like, at first it was like, yeah, we got this, and it'll be fun, and we can be really hardcore and not eat for 24 hours. And it was just like, I'm bored, I want to eat, you know. Believe it or not, there was a lot of downtime within those 3 or 4 days, and just be a good old fart to the face. I thought about that going down there. I gotta get a few shots of somebody farting on somebody. That is Life with Doug gold. I love this shot because my nieces always try to be in the shots when I'm recording myself, so this time I just wanted to get her reaction, like looking at the camera, like, what's he doing? And I think it's funny because I never broke my stare. So not just me crashed at the house. My nephew's friend was crashing at the house, and of course I had to go in there and put the the baby dolls around him. It's bad enough he's sleeping with a SpongeBob blanket, which I probably would have as well. Or did, I don't know. So the naked Ken doll, of course. And, that was a real fart, by the way. It sounds fake, but there is one fake fart in here. I'm not sure where it's at, but where I just like farted with my mouth sound. But the rest are actually real, believe it or not. Contrary to popular belief, the farts are real, along with that insane hair of mine, the unkemptness of a 4-day vacation at my sister's place. I consider that a vacation because for me it was a break from school. It was a chance to torment my nephew and nieces and my sister. It was far away from where I live. So it was very vacation-y for me, other than the stress. They may not have seen it that way due to the chaos in the house. I just thought it would be funny to wake him up by throwing a lot of random stuff on him along with the vacuum that was running. I couldn't believe the reactions I got from this video was not, I'm funny, or they're cute. The reaction was, I'm a good uncle. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm not a good uncle. Like, I tormented my nieces and nephews. I prompted them to do terrible things to each other. If my kids were crazy like that, I would have to kill them. And the reaction was, oh, I'm a good uncle because I love my nieces. I think this is a fake fart. Yeah, that was a total fake fart. So don't tell anybody, please, because... But I followed up with this, which is good. I don't know if you can hear it, but that's actually on and running. And there's no way my nephew could have slept through that. I think he was just trying to, like, play dead so I would go away type thing. And it worked, I guess, because he didn't freak out too much, and I eventually got bored. But everyone wants to wake up with a vacuum cleaner on their face. I love that line. What was that? This is definitely a moment where I was telling the girls what to do, and they were totally game. They were just like, alright. It was a chance for them to act completely ornery and get away with it. This is my attempt to make a story within the story, to make a fictional story of. I think the girls kind of came up with this, like, let's do something. I think they were saying, let's make a movie, and I was like, yeah, let's make a movie where you hide in the dryer, and then it turned into, you have to go tell your brother that you wished he was a girl, that way you could have another sister instead of a brother. And I don't know if he says that or not, but he was saying, you do have another sister, and then there she was in the dryer. Well, that's me teaching the girls to wear underwear so your turdy turd can get caught if they jump out. This is one of the cutest scenes right here, along with the train going by while I'm trying to do commentary. Look at Anna's salute right there. I love that for her. She's a star. Those girls are gonna be actresses. That's for sure. Perfect behind the scenes, perfect acting. They were game for anything. It was the best video I've ever done. My favorite video is a mix between the V8 guzzle in one of the short vlogs or this. But I'd have to choose this one. I guess now we're going to go wake Trace up. She's saying, I wish you was a girl so I could have a sister and not a brother. We did this before and it told the story, but I wanted more of a reaction from Trace, so we had to do it again, and he was just having enough. This was probably the same morning when I vacuumed his head. Trace had a room and everything, but he liked to sleep down there in the basement on that little two-person love seat. Was just his corner. I love this scene too because it felt so good to get out and do something in the sun, not have to study and sit in front of the computer and work on stupid papers. And this is us contemplating what park we're going to go to. And this is the cat scene. This is the best part of the whole thing. So that cat came, she said, get that cat. They kept trying to kick the cat out, but they didn't really want it out, so they were like pretending to kick the cat out so their mom wouldn't get mad at them. It was just something for these crazy girls to do. This is a time where I was trying as hard as I could to stay out of the way and let those guys go crazy. Listen to what my sister said. I don't want to see it. I love that line. She says, we're afraid to take the cat out because the dog's going to eat it. And my sister says, I don't care. I laugh. When I first seen this video for the first time in like over a year, because I was deciding whether I was going to put it back up or not, I forgot how funny it was. I was laughing so hard I was crying. And I think the video turned out even funnier than actually being there in person. It's a lot safer to watch it on the screen than it is to be there in the madhouse. That's why I called this video the madhouse, because it really was a chaotic 4-day mess. But it was very average for this family. Look how game Katie is. She just smiles it off, knowing that her big brother's a jerk. On to the next one. At her age, I would have had a mental breakdown and would have been screaming and crying if my brother did that to me. She's a lot tougher than I am. This is another great line from my sister.
Is there a loud
That's a pretty cat, anyway. I like that. This is where I just set up the camera and walked away because I was trying to get my sister to be herself, because she was changing her total demeanor because I was there with the camera. Not to say anything bad about her, but what I was trying to do was pretend that there was no camera so she would actually react naturally. I'm kind of the same way. Like, my sister or anyone normal would try to tone it down when there's a camera on. I try to ramp up and be as ridiculous and as annoying as possible when the camera's on. Believe it or not, I'm actually a very polite, handsome, strappingly beautiful young man. I was loving my guitar skills right there. I was actually playing that guitar with a dart, the dart with a long needle on the end. And I got a lot of comments saying, why would you throw that guitar? Why would you play it so rough? That guitar they got out of the trash, and they were throwing it back in the trash. I just kept it for those few days to annoy my nephew, trying to wake him up. So I don't know why though. That guitar was actually, I think it was technically like a kid's guitar, and it was cracked or something. But I remember them getting that out of the trash somewhere and using it as a toy. But I was looked at as a big jerk for throwing the guitar, because I love this part. One of my favorite shots. I don't think my nephew knew the camera was even running. That makes me laugh every time. And that's it. And it's over. And it's time to leave. There's my clothes hanging up right there. I actually done laundry the whole time I was there, every couple of days. When I was there, I would do their laundry and my laundry. It was just my way of, I guess, giving back to the house. But hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed me ranting about it. You probably haven't listened to this far, but if you did, you're a trooper. And stay tuned.